Elon Musk has a super bad feeling. Then Tesla lays off LGBTQ plus and diversity leaders. It was reported that earlier this month, Elon Musk told Tesla executives that he had, quote, super bad feeling, end quote, about the economy and wanted to lay off 10% of the company's workforce. Those layoffs have been rolled out, and the president of the company's LGBTQ community program, as well as one of the leads of the Diversity and Inclusion program, were included in the cuts. Insiders say that many of the other employees of those programs were cut, and cite a tweet last month where Elon Musk wrote, quote, unless it's stopped, the work mind virus will destroy civilization and humanity will never reach Mars, end quote.
You know, we've given Elon Musk so much airtime the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have, you know, when he said, oh, I'm going to buy Twitter and all that crap, right? But I mean, he's not well. Like, the guy is just not well. It's one day after another
There's
doing
your
some
answer.
crazy
We
stuff.
report on crazy.
Yeah.
We do.
And
we
report up front.
Yeah. Right.
I've often said, if it weren't for crazy and stupid people, I'd have never had a career.
That rings so true to me.
But you know what? Here's the thing, is that diversity doesn't generate visible revenue. We all know if diversity makes companies stronger, you get better employees, which makes for more revenue, but it doesn't generate something on the spreadsheet that you can look at. Also, Elon Musk is, as we're finding out, this idiotic conservative, but he has a product that liberals love and really, really want to spend their money on. So he's kind of like cornered a market. Now he's like, well, now I've got all your money, so now I'm going to take your freedoms. I'm going to take over more of your world.
And it's not just electric cars. It's
Right.
space also. He's dangling in front of us so many things that we just can't take our eyes off of, and we'll go, I wonder, are we going to go, well, we'll forgive all of these bad things because you're dangling this in front of me.
Right.
I want to ask you, Cal, because you're one of our resident business experts. I've talked about your path so many times. What's your reaction about what Elon Musk said, waking up one morning and going, I've got a bad feeling, I've got a bad gut feeling, let's cut 10% of our entire workforce at Tesla, and then not taking the time to ensure LGBT and your diversity leadership stays without being cut in the 10%. What was your reaction on that?
It's interesting because I understand it from a business perspective, because just like what John was saying, I lead our diversity and inclusion chapter at our company, and I oversee all of our internal and external communications. However, at the end of the day, our division doesn't generate any revenue. So if there are cuts to be made, that's the first thing that organizations will look at. They will look at the departments, they will look at the people who are directly tied to the bottom line, and those people are going to get cuts. And it's just purely, I would hope, just a business decision, and not because, we don't need diversity, we don't need inclusion, we don't need LGBT workforce. It just happens to be a lot of those employees are LGBT, and it happens to be Pride Month. So it's just not a good scenario all around.
Come on, just the other day, he just said pronouns suck. I mean, like, he's not well. He's just not well. The guy needs some help.
And he also is paying the hardest price of all. He lost a child. His daughter disowned him this week very publicly on Twitter. And that to me is the gut check.
How many employees in your entire corporate structure?
We were about 2,000.
Okay, and so you're leading the LGBT diversity arm. Does your gut from your seat, I know it's a crystal ball, your crystal ball is no better than anyone else's crystal ball, but does the crystal ball, when you look into it about what's going on with Elon Musk, from crazy to the various things that are going on that we've watched him say and do over the last couple of months, does your gut tell you that he's committed to diversity or he's not committed?
I don't think he cares. I think he's reached a level of just success and just money, and anything he does is he's just going to get money from it. So he's paid no matter what. I think what happens is that I feel as though we had reached a part in our business world that it was okay to be gay in corporate America and to be out. For instance, we're running a month-long campaign in our organization about employee spotlights and spotlighting our employees who are part of the LGBTQ plus community and also allies. And funny enough, we've actually gotten more people to do employee spotlights as allies than we have as LGBTQ plus employees, because they're still afraid to identify themselves as being part of the community, even though we promote a company culture of being your authentic self every single day. There are still a lot of people who are fearful of that, and I feel like episodes like this will cause people to be like, okay, I don't want to be out at work anymore.
Yeah.
For the fear of, you're just going to get laid off or fired.
That's incredibly sad to me, and I would think, I'm never going to understand Elon Musk's life, but I can tell you for sure, a statistical fact, if he backs out of the Twitter deal, he's going to lose $1 billion as a penalty. Wow. When somebody is capable of losing, I cancel my home or car contract and lose $1 billion, you're in a class where you're beyond.
You're by yourself in
that
that
we
class.
can understand.
Right. Yeah.
And he loses his daughter this week in the LGBTQ community, where she, as John said, publicly says, I no longer want to be associated with my father.
Changed her last name and all
Right.
to not even reflect being her father's daughter.
You would think Al, as billionaire, willing to lose $1 billion just for canceling a contract and going to spend $35 billion if I pay for the contract, that I would be worrying about more things than a bit of money of 10% of my workforce. Yeah. I would worry about my child who is rejecting me. And that perhaps is the crazy that you're talking about. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.